Morning forum, how's it going? Cheers. Today I'm back with not a specific gun review, but rather with a little review on, or like an overview on the whole gear and specifically on all the SBRs that I've acquired so far. I figured that all this waste of money in time and of resources has indeed brought me quite a nice collection. I wish I could go more to the range and do some more footage of that, but it's just difficult. But yeah, that's just life, I guess. Lately, the gun that I've been using the most is, if you follow my Instagram channel, you probably saw it. It's actually this one here. You may recognize it or not from movies such as American Sniper, I guess, was the latest, most mainstream movie where they featured this gun. It's actually a clone rifle of the Mk18 Mod 0 model that the US Navy issued. I have a video on this one on my channel where back then, when it still lacked this front rail, which finally arrived in the meantime. It's the Knight's Armament RIS, Ready Interface System. This was the last major part that was missing to make the build as realistic as possible. There are still some smartasses on the internet that like to point out that, of course, I don't have the CQD end plate, as well as sling mount here. The grip is obviously not nice, thank you smartass. And yeah, the stock is not Gen 1, but rather a submod Gen 2 stock, sorry. And obviously, I also do not have the original laser sight, which is somewhat hard to get here in Switzerland. And last but not least, I also lack the Knight's Armament flash hider, which is especially done for the suppressor that they also produce. What's it called? NT4? Q24, something like this. Let's screw it. I would buy if I could, but the United States has classified suppressors as NFA items, and as such they cannot be exported. So even if I had the money to buy it, I could not, just by the virtue of the fact that it's forbidden to export. Contrary to some other parts, ITAR regulated, but still exportable. What do you think about this gun? Well, it's pretty awesome, if you ask me. I like that it's very light, okay? With the suppressor attached, this is a Swiss suppressor, BNT Rotex. The suppressor is actually pretty awesome. I have a small clip of me shooting this gun like 1 weekend ago or 2 weekends ago. It's pretty awesome, I like it. It's very light, you know, it's not a piston gun, so it's very lightweight at the front, which never hurts if you mount a suppressor because that adds weight at the front. Moreover, it's very handy. Okay, with this grip at the front, it's so short, so compact. You can definitely transition from target to target in a in a very speedy way. Okay, something you cannot do actually with the Swiss Army rifle that I am issued, a SIG553 full-length rifle. So transitioning from one target to another is kind of, you know. It's okay, but it's definitely faster with this one. Okay, you're never gonna be able to beat a lightweight champion like this. This is being the Mod 0. I also invested some resources into the Mod 1. Okay. What's the difference? Well, what's the difference? Well, this is supposed to be more modular. Actually, it's not that much more modular. It just has the Daniel Defense front rail. Okay, I have attached the Knight's Armament sights, as in the original one. Correct me if I'm wrong. For sure, this is smartest, which is gonna correct some other things. The grip is supposed to be Tango down, but they're kind of too expensive, so I don't give a crap. This one works as well. The EOTech. I also have the Elcan for this, but I hardly shoot beyond 30 meters, so there's hardly a point of mounting the Elcan for the purpose. I have one of the old car stocks, which are quite cool. I like them. They're very light. yeah, this one, I also like to shoot it, but I find the Mod Zero to be a little bit cooler. It has this cool factor that's a bit retro to it, okay, don't get me wrong. They're both excellent guns. The Daniel Defense is a whole upper, so there's less work into building a Mod 1 Mk18 clone compared to the Mod Zero, because the Mod Zero is a Colt upper 10.3 inch with the Knight's Armament rail interface system, the Wilcox mount, or there are more mounts, the M-point, the old one, the LMT rear sight, whereas for the Mk18 Mod 1, in theory you can get the Daniel Defense upper, okay? And then you just need to grab a pair of Knight's Armament sights and then snap it on a lower with whatever stock. Basically then it's easier to build the Mod 1 as opposed to the Mod 0. These are sort of the guns that I have that mainly are inspired by the United States SOCOM, okay? But I also have other SBRs which are like more European in flavor, such as this one. This one you may have seen it in some other videos. This is actually one of the first one that I featured on my channel. This is something that I'm really proud of actually. And it's also gonna go the way of the dodo soon. I'm gonna get back to that later. This one is a G36C build based on a HK416A5. Okay, so the receiver is from a HK416A5. But the whole front assembly is from an original G36C. Okay, so it's spot on original, like almost one-to-one with the original one, except for the fact that it doesn't shoot full auto. This one is also, for being a piston gun, it's insanely light. Okay. You do run into some significant trade-off with something like this, notably on the accuracy department. Okay, these stock sights that it comes with, okay, are just borderline retarded. Okay, I don't even want to get into the argument of whether it's sturdy or not enough. It just seems that it's just cheap. Okay, the precision is not there at all. You cannot aim. 100 meters is already a gamble with these iron sights. They're not even iron, they're plastic sights. So I guess they're just there because otherwise people would have sued HK for not even delivering sights. So they just put on these cheap-ass sights just because they knew that people were going to switch them anyhow. Or mount something on top, which results in the height over bore, which is out of this planet. Some would say, dude, but why do you rent so much and why do you spend so much money on this gun? Well, as with everything, if you can get it, you want it, okay? And since this gun was for ages not available to the public, some people invested a heavy amount of money to building one, okay? In the United States, what they usually do is they buy off the shelf an SL8, which is just a retarded piece of shit, and spend more than double the money of the SL8 on import kits, milling, manufacturing, and whatever. $200 stamp to get it SBR maybe. And then you end up spending around 4 or 5 times what the actually normal price of this gun is for law enforcement, okay? This is actually the cheapest offering 223 that HK has, and ironically enough, it's pretty much the most expensive HK you can build, okay? That I know at least. But why do you see this gun all over the place? Well, it looks kind of futuristic still nowadays, even though it's from the 90s. And it's cheap, okay? And most of our governments are too busy spending money on, well, I don't know, immigrants or social benefits, social welfare. So law enforcement, military, etc. usually get the most cheapest solution. And believe it or not, this is actually really cheap. So it's not that they're getting something that is really fancy because government want the police force to be equipped with high-tech stuff. It's just cheap, okay? It's made in Germany, so it comes with a made in Germany label that kind of convinces people that it's okay. It's not bad for being 223, okay? But still, I mean, I don't know. It looks cool, but I wouldn't want to have to rely my life on this one. It's just too much plastic. I enjoy shooting it every once in a while, just for the fact that it's cool and that it costs me a lot of money, so I have to use it every once in a while. My wife likes using it. It's used by the Spanish forces. Spain also out of budget, so no wonder they have the G36. But yeah, I mean, if you're collecting guns from Europe, this is, and if you watch Hollywood, this is definitely one gun that you should own. G36, Germany. I have another German gun here behind my back. It's something that is actually way more high quality. It's the Mk18A3. Okay, this is like the civilian HK416A5. I did a specific video on this one some time ago. You can see it on my channel. Since then, what I did, I just changed the muzzle device. Okay, I went back to an original. What do I mean original? I went back to a traditional BNT Vortex. Yeah, I just like the looks of it better. It's still compatible with the suppressor that I have. And I tend to use my SBR suppressed most of the times, just because they're really loud, and I pretty much shoot only indoor, okay? Which, you know, if you combine SBR, indoor, it can have some pretty significant effects, or other set impairments, impair your hearing. This gun, with regard to ARs, because this essentially is a modified AR, just running with the piston system. This is definitely the Rolls Royce of ARs, okay? Don't come at me with like Patriot Ordnance and all the crap. Dude, this is reality, okay? This is how it should be. It's a bit on the heavy side, okay? I was ranting a bit about that in my other video, but man, if you had to own just one AR, if I had to own just one AR, probably would be this one, okay? I'm not even concerned about extra spare parts, etc., because it's not gonna break, never. I mean, it's just so sturdy and so well done that I'm probably gonna die sooner than this gun, okay? And therefore, I mean, I don't see any point. If I had really to invest and own just one, probably would be this one, okay? It doesn't have that much historical value, like maybe this one, okay? It's not that iconic. But we're talking different things, okay? We're comparing apples and oranges. If it's just about quality that you're concerned, you should probably get one of these. Okay? The accuracy is outstanding, the build quality is insane. Yeah, enough said, I guess. Another gun that is pretty cool that I own is this one here. This one is an original Scar L from Belgium, where I have changed the barrel assembly with a 10.5 inch solution. It's shipped with a 14.5 inch barrel, so the traditional mid-length solution. And of course, being an SBR guy, this was the go-to solution for me. I'm kind of pissed at this gun for the following reason, okay? It's cool as shit, it looks futuristic and whatever, but it's a bit of a bitch with magazines, okay? What do I mean? If you are into buying a Scar, that is if you live in a country where potentially you are allowed to buy one, because nowadays it's more about that, you may have probably done a bit of research into this one for the simple reason that it costs an insane amount of money. And then you probably, sooner or later, would run into a forum post or some articles that explain what this magazine does with the bolt catch, okay? The bolt catch on the Scar, the section in the middle, sort of, that where the magazine floor plate, sort of the follower, touches on the, you know, when you have no rounds, raises the bolt catch. It's the part where the follower and the bolt catch meet is not in the middle, sort of symmetrically in the middle as with an AR-15, but it's a bit more on the side. Okay, I don't know if it's left or right. Okay. The problem is that if you have a magazine where the geometry, okay, at the back is not this squared U shape, but it's like V shape, such as with PMags. The V shape is gonna continuously stay in contact with the ball carrier, with the ball catch, and it's gonna keep it a bit raised all the time. Because it's not in the middle of the V, it's a bit on the side, and therefore it's always a bit too high. And it engages with the bolt every time. Okay, what it does then, I guess, with time probably either the bolt catch or the bolt carrier will probably wear off, and it's not cool, okay? Because spare parts of FN are probably expensive, if at all you can find one. And it sucks. If you spend so much money and then lose the functionality of having the bolt catch work, it's success, okay? So what did I do? At the beginning I had a couple of USG IMAX, these worked fine. Then I transitioned over to some PMags because they were the shit at the time. And I noticed that I did have this issue with this car. So with a little Dremel, I tried to modify each PMag, but it's just shit, okay? I kept buying every once in a while what was a good deal, some magazines. I tried also with some E-mags. Stupidly enough, I thought that it's called E for European. They're supposed to be compatible with European guns. And obviously they're not compatible with the country where the European Union has its HQ. So it's ironic. So they were not compatible, and they are still not compatible with this car. Maybe the Gen 3 PMag are compatible, but by the time Gen 3 came out, I had so much PMags modified that I was just pissed. And then Lancer come across with this one, and this one sort of has the best of both worlds. It's translucent, okay, like my SIG magazines, and it has steel feeding lips with the right geometry, the huge SGI geometry in the bolt catch area. So I figured out that after buying, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 magazines that were like modified, finally there is an off-the-shelf version that is a bit more modern than the USGI, which is compatible with this little piece of shit. I shouldn't be so aggressive on this gun, it's actually really cool. I tend not to use it that much lately, I don't know why, but it's one of the first guns that I bought it back then in 2012. It was quite interesting actually. Every once in a while I was looking on the Swiss market what had it, suddenly in 2012 you come across something like this. You know, HK wasn't releasing any civilian guns or any cool civilian guns whatsoever back then. You had some minor appearances by US ARs, but nothing fancy. It was more the Swiss market was more or less dominated by Swiss guns and cheap AKs. And then this comes across, okay? For an insane price, it came with the aimpoint, a BNT handguard, 2 magazines, and what else? A sling. Yeah, this was the package. And I was like, shit. How did some random Swiss shops get some of this, okay? And they were SCAR L and SCAR H. And it was not 16S and 17S like you got in the States. So it was something quite exotic back then. I put together the money that I had and I went to buy one. Later found out that this was kind of something unique actually. They were supposed to be sold for, I don't know, they were intended to be sold for police forces, but I didn't buy the whole batch. The remaining ones landed on the Swiss and French market, I believe. And yeah, so I pulled the trigger on this one. I was running it at the beginning with the 40.5 inch barrel, okay, which is not bad, but with the suppressor, I just said, gotta go 10.5. I don't know how many years after I could find someone that was able to import the barrel assembly from the States, and of course then I had to buy also the dedicated tool to switch barrel, also from the States, so more money. But then it worked out, and I have to say I'm pretty satisfied. It's a very nice gun, smooth shooting, I like the recoil impulse, suppressed. It's delicious, okay? And it looks definitely, it looks business, okay? It looks modern. The stock is a bit cheap, okay? I always said it's a bit of a cheap ass stock. This stock latch here, it's in plastic, okay? Don't come at me with, I don't know, rocket science, research and development done by FN on plastic. This one will probably break if you just close it or try to open it in a non-intended way. Okay, so unfortunately, I kind of see this gun as being more high-speed, low drag for special operations, but for just heavy duty, it's not gonna fit. Okay. Last but not least, I also have this little sucker, which was also showcased in the SIG553X overview. Back then I compared pretty much all of the SIGs that I own, which is the 550, 551 and 553. The 551, as said, I sold it in the meantime. RIP, SIG551. This one is also a rifle that I really love, okay? The ball carrier group is not here, because I was cleaning it before, so it's still not there. Yeah, I mean, this alongside this is with the G36 is the only gun that uses a different type of mag, as opposed to all this USGI bonanza that I have here. But I'm not too negative on this, okay? Why? It's because in Switzerland everyone has SIGs. So, if for whatever reason there's something, something happens or you need mags, I mean, SIG magazine, you find them all over the place. So it's not too bad. It's not something exotic, which, like the G36, with this magazine, where if you don't, they're super expensive, B, they're hard to find. So, with this one, I'm not too pissed, that there's dedicated magazine. Moreover, in theory, you can order a USGI compatible lower, okay? With USGI, I mean, just accepts AR magazine. Of course, being Swiss Arms, the prices are insanely high and the delivery times are just, I don't know, insane, okay? So, I'm not gonna go down that path. I'm used to manipulating the traditional SIG magazine. I like the geometry, I like the style, I like the fact that they are see-through, so I'm gonna stick with this configuration for the foreseeable future. So yeah, I mean, this was mainly... There's one SBR missing of my collection that I didn't showcase here. It's the Scar Heavy. I have that one in 308 also. With the short barrel, but I happen, for budgeting reasons, I'm just too poor to shoot 308, okay? It's just reality. Ammo prices are a bit on the rise, I don't know why. And it's just hard to find cheap 308, okay? Combine that with the fact that I don't even know a range where I can shoot long range with the 308, now that I live here in Zurich. And yeah, you got pretty much a nice looking gun that you can never use, okay? For doing mag dumps at 30 yards, it does make sense. Future guns, what I would like to own, good question. Some people have pointed out that there are there are newer guns coming out. There is the Italian ARX 160 or 100. It looks a bit dumb in my opinion, especially with the 16-inch barrel, which is just a reminder that the US are the go-to, the market of reference for everything gun related, because underneath 16 inches it's just not compliant with standard laws. So in 16 inches it just looks retarded. Okay, I would maybe consider buying in 14.5. I would probably buy it in 10 point something if it was really available, but I understand it's pretty much like the Scar, okay? It comes out with 16 inch and then finding the barrel is difficult, okay? Maybe it's not impossible, but I just never came across a YouTube video with someone showcasing the exchange barrel for that, so... And it's just too expensive, okay? I mean, the Scar cost me an eye and a leg getting it like this, so I'm not gonna go down the same path with the ARX 100 or 160. There will be, I was thinking about buying a Steyrog, okay, some time ago. Maybe if I could find an original version, I could consider buying. The reason why I don't buy the Steyrog is because, what can I say? I mean, there's so many versions out there, civilian versions with, and I'm not interested in those, okay? They don't have enough like historical or whatever value to me. I could maybe buy one if it was original army issue, maybe, or one of the first editions that came out. You do come across some of those on the Swiss market every once in a while, but it's hard, okay? Now there's my wife coming in. Cos'è che c'è? No, vai, lasciala. So that's for the Steyraug. HK416. Ma via tutto. HK416 would be awesome. Actually, they do have some HK416 parts in sale in Germany as we speak. They're pretty awesome. They even have the Select 5 versions. I was thinking about that, but the price is just prohibitive. Okay. I would have to get some parts in Germany, some parts sourced in the US, put it all together, insane waiting times, insane budget. I'm not fucking Warren Buffett. Plus I'm married, which is a downside with regard to gun budget, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, but for sure a nice project. Okay, it would be a nice companion for my MR223, definitely. And it would be the real deal, okay? The real deal for 16 is not bad. I mean, I would for sure not mind having one. No, with regard to this gun, like full auto stuff, I guess Switzerland as a country is definitely better than the United States. Because in the United States, you have, for a lower that shoots full auto or Sears, I don't know how it works, you can have you end up paying like more than 20 grand, or I don't know how much, just crazy prices, because of the strange law that you have in place. But here in Switzerland, at least for now, because maybe there is some oncoming regulations which changes, you just have to be like a so-called serious owner, okay? These kind of weapons are Class A firearms according to European regulation, and that they are relegated to not the average shooter, just serious owners. It's a bit blurry, its definition, and each country applies definition differently. In Switzerland, where I live, you are considered a serious owner, but you have to go to the police first. And then they sort of see what kind of person you are, what guns you have, what background you have, what kind of areas of guns you are collecting. If you have invested enough budget across a big enough range of time, you get access to the club of the serious owners, okay? Which I'm totally fine with, because it's some serious stuff, okay? We're also talking like grenade launchers, really just pretty much everything that is not a normal semi-auto gun. Once you are classified as a serious collector, you can also apply to buy full auto guns and military guns, like the 416. So in theory, from a legal perspective, I could buy one, no problem. It's more a problem of where the hell do I get one? Okay. You cannot probably just do it in the United States. Okay, so I'm sorry for that. On the downside, one of the downsides though is that you are allowed to buy one, but in theory you're not allowed to shoot it, at least in full auto. Okay, if you want to shoot it in full auto, you have to apply. You have to notify the police where, when, under what circumstances you're gonna shoot it, and then sort of they send you like a piece of paper that says yes, you are allowed to do this. So you go to the range. If there is an event, you can do mag dump after mag dump in full auto, but that's it. Okay, so you don't want to mess with that, because people messing up with these things then tend to make the whole thing worse. Okay, then as gun people appear not responsible, and the whole legislations go south. And then and then at some point it's going to be impossible. But yeah, that's definitely a project that I have in the pipeline. At least in theoretical terms. I have to. It's like in politics, okay? When you're fighting for budget, I have to find a budget for it. Beyond the 416 AUG, the new Beretta, I don't know. The one gun that I never considered buying was everything related to AK, AK-47, AK-74. I'm just not that much into AKs. I don't know. They don't have. I do know that they do have historical value, some of them, okay? There is a whole niche of AK collectors with some serious arguments about why AKs have value, okay? Pretty much like the R15, also the AK made history. I don't know, I think the best AK is this one. And if you don't think so, then fuck you, okay? Then you probably have never shot one. I have shot AKs, 74, 47, and yeah, that's fine, but I mean, this one is just a made in Switzerland AK with the functionalities that you need, okay? First of all, with the bolt catch. And then, yeah, Rocking magazine, like the AK, the pistol system is pretty much the same, but it's Swiss. So AKs are not into consideration. I was on a trail to buy an L85 some time ago, but I lost the bid. The L85 is a gun that you almost never see. It's the British assault weapon. Immensely overpriced, of course, even for Swiss standards. But kind of like the FAMAS, one of these things that you have to own, okay? Unfortunately, I lost the bid. That one would have been a nice catch for my collection, at least from a historical perspective. I know that the gun itself is quite shit, and the Brits would probably change it, like the French did with the FAMAS some time ago for this one here. But you know, it's definitely cool. Like the G36, it's something that, you know, if you cannot access, if you cannot buy it, it just want to have it even more. Okay. So yeah, I'm still on the lookout for more of those. Beyond this, I mean, there's pretty much it basically. If you're talking about 223 modern guns, there's not a lot left that I don't own. I mean, in the United States, all the different types of ARs, I'm not really interested in those. Okay, there are a gazillion versions. You can have them in all flavors, colors, calibers. But yeah, I would be maybe interested into grabbing one of these old school XM177, or you know, Troy is releasing like the My Service Rifle line of rifles. Would be cool to have one of those, okay? But maybe one made from Colt. Also, Colt is sort of trying to tap onto the retro niche market. They're releasing the M16A1 reissue, $2,500, which I mean for the standard American is quite a high price. If they down the road release something along these lines, but maybe an XM177 or one of these Car 15 Colt Commando type of guns, then I probably would want to buy one. I also own a Colt SP1, which you know, for the goes back to the Vietnam era looks of guns. So that one I would still consider buying and adding to my AR-15 collection. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Maybe, no, I guess that's really pretty much it. But yeah, I hope to release or to make some more footage of me shooting these guns. I may have some more time now in Q2 maybe. It's been a bit stressy at work lately. And I also got a new camera for my wife for Christmas, a new GoPro. So definitely, if I go to the range, I'll definitely try to make a little bit more footage. And if you want to see a specific gun in action, maybe, or see how the, you know, maybe how the inner parts work, maybe I can take it apart and just drop me a message here on YouTube, and I'll try to do my best. It's always hard for me to choose what guns to bring at the range. Mostly just about which one is available, because they are all, you know, taken apart and put nicely in the closet. So it's just about, normally I just take one. Lately it's always this one. But if you're interested in a special gun, let me know, and maybe I could try to feature it. Or if you're interested to see a comparison between two specific guns, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, stay safe, and have a nice day.